Once upon a time, there was a young boy who was always getting lost in his head. His parents would say things like he was off with the fairies. As amazing as his waking adventures were, they were nothing compared to the ones he went on when he was meant to be asleep. Whenever he did fall asleep, he almost always suddenly awoke in a completely different world. Now, while the first years of his life were filled with joy, over time, his home life began to take on a terrible strain. More and more, he would hear his parents arguing through the wall about things going on in a land of grown-ups. It seemed no matter what the situation, his mother was always concerned about the lack of hope in their lives. Now, the boy wasn't quite sure exactly what this commodity was, but he knew that if his parents couldn't find it in the waking world, he'd have to find it in one of his. And this is where our story truly begins. He long ago learned to always bring a red button with him to make sure he could recognize himself, whatever form he took. It could be very easy to lose himself in other people's skins otherwise.
Who are you?
Who said that?
I'm down here.
What are you doing down there?
Well, what does it look like? I'm stuck.
How'd you get stuck?
Well, it's a long story. Well, basically, I ate too many apples. Do you think you'd give us a hand?
Oh, of course.
Oh, thanks very much. Name's Steve, by the way. What's yours?
Petal.
Nice to meet you, Petal.
Oi, do you mind keeping it down?
Who's that?
Don't mind her. That's just a wicked witch of all 4 compass points.
Aren't you a bit tall to be a dwarf?
And aren't you a bit single to be a princess?
Say that again and I'll thump you back down to your original size.
That's Cinderella. Let's not get on her bad side. Half the cases being tried here are against her.
2/3.
Anyway, what are you here for?
I'm looking for hope.
Is that her?
That's the magistrate, you overgrown gnome.
Oh, that's mythicism.
Mysticism?
No, mythicism. Discrimination on the basis of mythological heritage.
Whatever, Rumpelstiltskin.
Mythicism! Mythicism!
Who is she?
What did I just say? She's the magistrate. Her name is Ruth the Lass, and she's the most ruthless, power-hungry magistrate that ever was.
Oh, I've heard of her. She's never going to let me go.
What could you have done that was so bad?
Oh, I'd rather not say.
Okay, moving on.
Well, if you insist. Once upon a time, I was on my way to do the shopping for my fellow dwarf and friends when I ran into a young lad selling food by the side of the road.
Hey, Alpine, looking for some wares? Why bother going all the way into town when you can get everything you need right here?
Well, my friends did say to only buy from trusted suppliers, but, well, I suppose your sign does say that, doesn't it? Go ahead then, what have you got?
You won't be sorry. I tell you, I've got the juiciest fruits in all the land. All right, Danny's, I planted everything next to these magic beans, and they come up tastier than your mum's. Home cooking.
Yeah. Well, my friends might get mad if I bought things that grew next to enchanted beans.
Well, what about these apples then? They're like totally normal and not enchanted or whatever.
Oh, in that case. So that was that. I bought the apples and took them back to my friends.
You idiot! You spent all our money on a bunch of measly apples again!
What is wrong with you?
Why can't you get it through your thick head? Yes, some nice thick bread.
Yeah, what he said.
Hey, let's get cosy in a nice soft bed. I mean, you idiots! You
I guess Jack must have forgotten to give me the correct change.
We'll go back there and get the correct change. You don't know!
But by the time I got there, Jack was gone. Next thing I knew, I was being dragged here by 2 policemen. Apparently, the apples I bought made everyone grow super big, and they all ended up getting fired from the jobs in the mines. And now they're accusing me of stealing all the money and purposely enchanting them.
I'm sorry, Steve, that sounds so unfair. But wait a minute, that still doesn't explain how he got stuck behind the toilet.
Well, after all that hoopla, I was very hungry and sad, and I must have fallen asleep, grief binging apples, and ended up that way.
Oh, my sweet and beautiful Oz, that's funny.
Well, you think that's so funny? Tell us your story then.
Stories. Thank you very much. And let me show you how it's done. So once upon a time, yeah, I was at home, minding my business, when all of a sudden...
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Cinders. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We've been invited to a ball. Please say you'll come. Oh, come on, please. It's tomorrow night. A prince is going to be there.
A prince, you say? Okay, so long story short, the next night I cooked a curry and loaded it with chilies to give my stepmother the runs. Conned a fairy godmother into making me some glass slippers and a nice frock complete with carriage, etc. Went to the ball alone, hooked the prince with my stunning outfit and made the old Irish exit, leaving him wanting more. I even pretended to leave behind one of my glass slippers so he'd have to come looking for me. It was all going according to plan when...
It's you. It's really you.
It is.
May I?
Hey! Hey, what are you doing? Hey! 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 It only turns out he's got a bleeding shoe fetish and has a collection that'd make Celine Dion look reasonable.
Hang on. That doesn't explain anything. Why are you in here then?
I have no idea. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. I'm the victim here.
That doesn't really make sense.
Right, okay. Well, this one time, yeah, I was dating this bloke. Things were going great. Like, really great. The only problem was, my place was at the top of this big tower and didn't really have any stairs. So we'd never actually seen each other. So he came up with the bright idea for me to grow my hair long enough for him to climb it. Bleeding hurt, mind you. He wasn't made of feathers. Anyway, long story short, he climbed up my hair, got to the top, but when he saw me, he said,
"Well, this ain't gonna work. I prefer blondes."
Now, I was a little upset, of course, but I just said, "It's okay. You can't help what you like, can you?" We said our goodbyes, and he left. Oh, and then I cut my hair off. But there's no crime in that, is there?
No, I guess not.
Something's not quite adding up.
Right, okay. Last one. This one time, I was walking through the forest, minding my own business, when suddenly I stumbled across this trail of sweets. Now, mind you, I was well hungry at this stage. I hadn't eaten for like 4 hours, so I figured I'd get fed and also help clean up after this litterbug sullying the forest. 10 years go by, and next thing I know, I'm being hauled in here being accused of aiding and abetting some sugar-obsessed cannibal hag trying to lure in kiddies.
Always got an excuse, this one. At least I admitted what I did, just didn't do it on purpose is all.
Yeah, I don't think they'll just arrest someone who's completely innocent without cause.
Oh no.
Who's that?
What's wrong? Does my voice frighten you?
No. What a lovely deep voice you have, Granny. I mean, sir.
All the better to communicate with you.
Oh, yeah, that's not creepy at all.
That's my point. Judge me by the way that I sound already.
No, we didn't. You just surprised us is all.
Oh, really? What now? I've been arrested for things I didn't do all my life, just because of the way I look and sound. Let me tell you what I did this time to get myself locked up like this. The age-old crime of trying to build a home. I was halfway through the process of building my new home when I realised I was out of cement, so I went into town to pick some up.
Why do we have to build houses? I'm perfectly happy rolling around in my own filth.
Because that's what we do when we want to get ahead in life. First we build a house of straw, then sticks, then bricks. The better the material, the more respect you deserve.
Oh, so I should build a house of bricks then?
No, I should build a house of bricks. I'm the eldest and more deserving of respect.
Why does that make you the most respectable?
Look how pale my skin is. Don't you think I deserve something for that?
It is pale.
Exactly why I deserve the bricks. End of discussion. Well, look what we've got here. Like we don't have to go to the town stall after all.
What do you mean?
We've got everything we need right here. Quick, load it before they come back.
By the time I got back, the place had been ransacked. When I searched the ground, I saw wheelbarrow tracks leading down the road, so I followed them.
Where do you think you're going?
Who are you?
Border Patrol.
Well, there was no border patrol when we passed here earlier.
Well, that's because of Brexit, innit?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that.
Anyway, what you got here?
Just some building supplies.
Okay. What do you want to build on this side of the bridge for?
Because the grass seems greener.
So they say. Wait a minute. How can something be greener?
I'm sorry, we're really in a hurry.
No, I mean, really? How can one green be greener than another green?
Please, we really need to go.
Okay, calm down. Just pay the toll and you're free to pass. Hold it. State your business.
Those pigs stole my building supplies.
Well, that's a mighty big accusation. You sure you're not just looking for your next meal?
I'm vegan.
What, like vegetarian?
Sort of, but it also means I don't eat things like milk or eggs either.
Well, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Weirder than drinking another animal's breast milk.
All right, fair point. Look, I can't let you pass without paying the toll.
Well, they took everything from me.
I'm sorry, but those are the rules, and rules are rules.
Right, but...
Don't make me get out the red tape.
But...
But...
If I could just...
Right, that's it. You try and cross that and you'll be in big trouble. Don't do it. I mean it. Right, that's it.
And that's how I ended up in here.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's awful. Well, it is.
All I ever wanted was to belong.
All I ever wanted was love.
All I want is forgiveness.
All I want is to find some hope.
Well, you ain't going to find any of that here.
Who's that?
That's the Pied Piper. He's the court clerk. They say he can make you do anything he wants using that pipe he carries.
Well, what do we have here? Hang on. You're not supposed to be in there.
Oh yes, that's right. I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding.
No matter. As long as you're in there, it must mean you're guilty of something.
Please, you see, I'm just looking for some hope, and I'm wearing quite an hurry. I need to find some before I wake up.
You're looking for hope? Oh, why didn't you say so? There's no hope to be found around here, Pedal, and that goes for the rest of you. Let's hurry up, I ain't got all day. Oh, and one thing. Don't you make me use my pipe. Otherwise, you'll be hearing nothing but my music for the rest of your days.
All rise for Honourable Magistrate Ruth O'Lass.
Be seated. Right, what do we have first?
First up, Your Honour, we have Prince Pumplover versus Cinderella for willful destruction of precious property and arson.
You're on it.
If I may. You may not. Prince Pumplover, would you be so kind to explain what happened in your own words?
Yes, Your illustrious honour. Upon learning of my unrequited feelings for her and following my interest in purchasing a beautiful, magnificent, positively delicious pair of Swarovski-level accoutrements.
Get on with it.
She burned my entire shoe collection to the ground.
Yes, I can see here. Cinderella, did you willingly set fire to Prince Pumplover's property?
Well, you know, it's a funny story, actually.
Court finds in favour of the claimant. Cinderella is hereby sentenced to 100 years hard labour on a poisoned spindle.
What?
Next!
Next up, we have Prince Mainclimber versus Cinderella for grievous bodily harm and attempted murder.
Prince Mainclimber, please state your case.
Look, Your Honour, sometimes I can be a bit blunt, right? For example, do I find anybody in this courtroom particularly attractive? No. Should I be murdered for stating that?
Your point?
She dropped me from a 4-story window, Your Honour.
Defended.
Your Honour, murder is such an ugly word.
Has anybody else been dropped from a high place by the defendant? Judgment in favour of Prince Mainclimber. The defendant surrenders her tower property to the prince and is hereby sentenced to 8 years chromatic imprisonment in a glass coffin.
Next up, we have Hansel and Gretel versus Cinderella for accessory to attempted murder and kidnapping.
Hansel and Gretel, will you please state your case?
She lured us into the forest with cupcakes and sweets, then cleared our tracks so we couldn't find our way back. Then the witch in the forest tried to eat us.
We were lost in that forest for 10 years. We've lost our entire childhoods thanks to you.
Sorry, did you say you were children when you went in? You look at least 50 now.
Well, that's what having nothing but gingerbread, sweets and witch for brains does for you after 10 years.
I've been too afraid to look in the mirror.
Defendant, did you know that the witch was planning on eating the children?
No, I just thought she was going to make him work a bit, you know, chimney sweep and all that. Look, their parents paid me to do it.
Order! Order, I say! I've heard enough. The defendant is sentenced to 80 years in a creepy mansion with possessed crockery and a horrible beast. And since her parents are clearly not suitable guardians, Hansel and Gretel will be taken into the custody of the social services.
We're not children, we don't need looking after.
Next!
But this isn't fair.
Clap!
Out of these streets, these little
It's very effective. Next case, I believe we have Mama and Papa Bear with a case of stolen food and board against none other than Cinderella.
I did it.
What are you doing?
Well, I might as well. What else can she do to me?
Right, I'm afraid that's it, Miss Cinderella. This incident has tipped the balance. I'm afraid any oomph you had left is out the window.
You!
Where do you think you're going?
Sorry, Your Honour, but I have to get that out.
Didn't you hear me? There's no hope left for any of you.
There might not be for us, but there is for Petal. Look, we're not going to get anywhere with her, but we might as well give him a fighting chance.
Let's do this!
Where did it go? It was right here, I swear.
Look, Petal, I don't think hope is what you think it is.
But my parents, they need it to keep fighting. My mum's never could come home if I can't find it.
It's not your job to look after your parents. It's their job to look after you. All you need to do is be a kid and hope for the best.
Oh, hope is hope. Right.
Well, if I can't find it here, where will I find it?
I think it's inside you.
That's it, it's inside me. Wolf, listen, maybe you'll never quite fit in with him, but that doesn't mean you don't belong. Steve, if you ever want true forgiveness, you have to forgive yourself first. And Cinderella, maybe the love you're seeking isn't out there, but in here. You've all helped me find hope in myself when I had none. Thank you for showing me what hope truly is.
I think we're going to need some of that hope right now.
Hold it right there, folks. Hold it right there. Hold it right there, folks. Can't cross there, I'm afraid.
Well, why not?
Brexit, innit?
That's ridiculous. They're just over there.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to file the correct paperwork for extradition.
This is crazy.
You try and cross that and you'll be in big trouble.
Uh-oh, guys, I think I'm starting to wake up.
Yeah, you are, kid.
Don't do it.
Come back and visit us sometime.
I mean it.
Yeah, you belong here too.
Right, that's it.
Petal, time to get up. Honey. Honey. What's wrong?
I don't want you to leave.
What do you mean? I'm not going anywhere.
But you said last night there was no hope left, so I found some in my dreams, but I'm afraid it's not enough, and I still don't want you to go.
Honey. Honey. I know your dad and I said some unkind things last night.
It's not just last night, it's every night.
You're right. We've been fighting a lot recently. But it's not because we don't love each other, or you. We fight because we're scared, Petal. And sometimes when that fear takes over, it's hard to see beyond it.
But we're working on it, okay? And we've decided to get a friend to help us with it.
Who?
I guess you could say she's a new friend. Sometimes we need friends when we can't figure something out by ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, my friend helped me find hope.
And that's what our friend's going to help us find as well. So you don't need to worry. Sometimes life just gets a little bit hard, okay, Petal? But it doesn't mean we're going to give up.
Okay.
We love you, Petal. And we love each other. Sometimes we all just need a little help.
And they all lived, well, you know the rest.